the book of Daniel. Right off the bat, we can see it's not the book of the prophet Daniel. Daniel was a prophet, but he was much more than a prophet. So I think that's why they don't even call it that. It's just the book of Daniel. Chapter 1. In the 3rd year of the reign of Jehoiakim, king of Judah, came Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, unto Jerusalem and besieged it. Before, up to this point, he's only called Nebuchadrezzar. And now he's starting to be called this. This is a different author, a different book, a different time of writing, probably. Could be hundreds or thousands of years. I have no idea, but the names. Right off the bat, all these previous books are called prophet. The book of the prophet Nehemiah. The book, well, not really. It's the book of Ezra. The book of Esther. But the book of the prophet Isaiah. The book of the prophet Jeremiah. We have all these prophets in a row here. Ezekiel the prophet. The book of the prophet Ezekiel. But this is just the book of Daniel, and Nebuchadnezzar's name has changed. And the Lord gave Jehoiakim, king of Judah, into his hand, with part of the vessels of the house of God. Oh, so remember there's some part where when he's still Nebuchadnezzar, he sees everything, but he just turns around. He doesn't destroy it. The temple. That's what I thought. But here, Jehoiakim, and it may say this also before in Jehoiakim, part of the vessels of the house of God, which he carried into the land of Shinar to the house of his God, little g, to the house of Nebuchadnezzar's God, you see, little g God. And he brought the vessels into the treasure house of his God. So Nebuchadnezzar's God. And the king spake unto Ashpenaz, the master of his eunuchs, that he should bring certain of the children of Israel, and of the king's seed, and of the princes, children in whom was no blemish, but well favored and skillful in all wisdom, and cunning in knowledge, and understanding science, and such as had an ability in them to stand in the king's palace, and whom they might teach the learning and the tongue of the Chaldeans, who are the Babylonians. So they're asking for some of the smartest children. They're asking for the smartest children to go into the king's palace to be taught Babylonian so they can spread it. And the king appointed them a daily provision of the king's meat and of the wine which he drank, so nourishing them 3 years, that at the end thereof they might stand before the king. So that was kind of like a thing with Esther, right? That we read that that king did, that she had to be like bathed and cleaned for like over a year, something like this, and taught all this stuff before she could even appear. And this is happening 3 years. Okay. Now among these were the children of Judah: Daniel, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah. There's 4. Unto whom the prince of the eunuchs gave names. For he gave unto Daniel the name of Belteshazzar, right? And that name, we'll find out later, is a continuing name of Babylonian kings. And actually, this Nebuchadnezzar's son will be named that as well. So Daniel, the name of Belteshazzar, and to Hananiah of Shadrach, and to Mishael of Meshach, and to Azariah of Abednego. But Daniel purposed in his heart that he would not defile himself with a portion of the king's meat, nor with the wine which he drank. Therefore he requested of the prince of the eunuchs that he might not defile himself. Now God had brought Daniel into favor and tender love with the prince of the eunuchs. And the prince of the eunuchs said unto Daniel, I fear my lord, the king, who hath appointed your meat and your drink. For why should he see your faces worse, liking than the children which are of your sort? So he's saying, the slave children of Israel, you look worse than them, and you're being fed this most excellent food. What am I supposed to tell the king? If you keep looking like this, right? You're going to be messed up. Then shall ye make me endanger my head to the king. Then said Daniel to Melzar, whom the prince of the eunuchs had set over Daniel, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah, prove thy servants, I beseech thee, 10 days, and let them give us pulse to eat and water to drink. Then let our countenances be looked upon before thee in the countenance of the children that eat of the portion of the king's meat, and as thou seest, deal with thy servants. So he's putting it out there. God's going to protect him from looking all shriveled up. So he consented to them in this matter and proved them 10 days. And at the end of 10 days, their countenances appeared fairer and fatter in flesh than all the children which did eat the portion of the king's meat. Thus Melzar took away the portion of their meat and the wine that they should drink, and gave them pulse, which is probably something nasty. As for these 4 children, God gave them knowledge and skill in all learning and wisdom, and Daniel had understanding in all visions and dreams. So he always had that. Now, at the end of the days that the king had said he should bring them in, then the prince of the eunuchs brought them in before Nebuchadnezzar. And the king communed with them, and among them all was found none like Daniel, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah. Therefore stood they before the king, all 4. And in all matters of wisdom and understanding that the king inquired of them, he found them 10 times better than all the magicians and astrologers that were in all his realm. That's saying a lot. These 4 kids are 10 times better in any questions the king asks them. 10 times better than all the magicians and astrologers that were in all his realm. And Daniel continued even unto the 1st year of King Cyrus, who is king of Persia. We're talking about Babylon. We're talking about King Nebuchadnezzar. Now at the very end, he brings up that he was there even into the 1st year of this king of Persia. Because we're going to hear a lot about that in Babylon, fighting. Wow, this is a really short book. It's only 12 chapters. Wow, that was a lot longer. Well, that's Daniel. He's just blessed from the beginning. He was always blessed. He was always doing the Lord's work. He's always been under his favor.